Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming month. That's October 2022. If you are new here, my name is Justina. I'm a Western astrologer. I follow the tropical zodiac along with the whole sign system in all the forecasts on this channel. So welcome. This horoscope is the most accurate for the rising sign. However, you can also watch it for your moon sign or for your sun sign if you wish. Now, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here this month, Mercury will station direct in the sign of Virgo on the 2nd of October at 24 degrees of Virgo. This retrograde began on the 9th of September in the sign of Libra. So both signs were activated at this time, but here Mercury ends its retrograde in Virgo. Virgo rules your 7th house of relationships. So here from the 2nd onwards, communication, transportation, relating to another will become much easier. Here, bear in mind that the first 2 weeks after the retrograde is over, this is when the Mercury will be still in the post-shadow period, but generally from the 2nd onwards, life should flow at a much easier pace. Now, here Venus will finish its solstice on the 3rd of the month. So Venus is naturally also connected to love and finances. So you might still experience a temporary lack of clarity in the first couple of days of the month. But from the 2nd, the 3rd, this could be a time of some really strong realizations as well that could help you to improve your personal relationships moving forward. Now, on the 9th of the month, on the other hand, we've got a full moon in Aries happening at 9 degrees of Aries. Here, Aries rules your sphere of the 2nd house. So this is about your financial sphere, and you'll be thinking about either how to improve your finances, economic situation, how to save more money, especially with all the prices and the cost of living going up. So the finances will be on your mind around this time. However, this is not a good time for making any major decisions because Mercury will be in opposition to Neptune. So even if you want to make these decisions, think things through, take notes, ask your friend, your family member, your partner for their opinion. Don't act independently because you might want to take some risks. However, this full moon is really advising us to be cautious. However, it's still a great time for being courageous, but without rushing things through. Now, between the 13th and the 16th, Mercury will have its solstice. Here, Mercury rules your home sphere as well as your sphere of relationships. So here, during this time, there could be some delays, especially if you're expecting any furniture delivery or if you're working on some home-related projects. Be cautious between the 13th and the 16th because things might take a different turn. Now, Jupiter, your ruler, will finish its solstice on the 16th, and this solstice began already in September, and because this is your ruler, you will feel it on a deeper level, and you might actually come up with some really interesting idea or change the direction of some important matters in your life. So that's around the 16th. Now, on the 24th, Saturn will station direct in the sign of Aquarius at 18 degrees of Aquarius. Saturn has been retrograde since the beginning of June. Saturn here is in your 12th house. So Saturn in the 12th house is connected to some endings, but also Saturn is not very strong in the 12th house. So even though Saturn can make one feel depressed or demotivated or limited to a certain extent, especially if it activates our natal planets, the personal planets, by a conjunction or a square or even an opposition. This could be connected to other people in our life. But overall, Saturn in the 12th house, as scary as it might be, it's actually not that strong. It's the house of joy for Saturn. But with the retrograde, this could have made you want to do some soul searching, learn about yourself. Some people are going through healing. But overall, with Saturn stationing direct, this could be also related to progress. Saturn will allow you to make better progress in your life on the 24th. And soon Saturn will move into your 1st house. So these are the final months of Saturn Saturn traveling throughout your 12th house. And next year you will begin a major 29 years cycle in your life. So next year will be very important for you because Jupiter will move out from your 1st house. So This year was lucky, a time of growth, expansion. However, next year you will, well, this will be about redefining your identity, restructuring the major spheres of your life. Very interesting energies, but also a time of discipline, self-discipline. But here with Saturn stationing direct, Saturn will reward especially those ones who worked constructively, who worked consistently towards a certain goal, idea, project over the last few months. Now on the 25th, we've got a solar eclipse in Scorpio at 2 degrees of Scorpio. And this solar eclipse is about some major new beginnings in your sphere of higher education, travel, life direction as well. So generally with the South Node solar eclipse, this is about some endings as well. So some part of your life is coming to an end, to a conclusion, especially with Saturn approaching your first house. So you're dealing with some endings at the same time. Here with a solar eclipse, this is also about major new beginnings. So some of you might be starting a new course of study. This is related to college or a university degree. You might be traveling as well. So this could be related to travel, relocation. You might also move abroad as a result of a new business. So more business-related travel is also possible. Or perhaps you might be relocating permanently to a different place. But overall, whatever happens here at this time, this will also impact your career life moving forward, because the ninth house is like a preparation towards what's coming next. So perhaps whatever that you start now in your life, a new direction, a new life philosophy, you might be attracted to different kind of books and movies moving forward as well. Now you might see some interesting first results of that end of November, December, during the Sun's transit in your 10th house of Sagittarius, and also the new moon in Sagittarius. But that's in a few months. But overall, new beginnings here for you, life direction, higher education, your life philosophy. You might be redefining your belief system as well. Now, for some people, this could be also regarding publishing a book or an ebook, or perhaps getting yourself out there, public speaking. Now on the 29th, 28th, Jupiter will move back into Pisces until December the 20th. Jupiter was in Pisces in the first 5 months of this year. That was a time of growth related to your personal life, to your goals, to your career even, because Jupiter rules your 10th house as well. So generally a lucky time. Now Jupiter will return back into your first house, into your sign. So the last months of the year could be pretty lucky, full of abundance, at times at least. So generally a time of growth for you. And here with that eclipse in your sphere of life direction, new experiences, you might be making a major decision in your life in the final months of the year, moving into a different phase of your life. Now, Mars retrograde begins on October the 30th. Mars retrograde is here at 25 degrees of Gemini. So here Gemini rules your sphere of home and family related matters. If you managed to do lots of kind of renovations or home improvements in the last few weeks, or from August the 20th, that's when Mars enters this area of your life. Or perhaps if there was a lot happening at your home. Now when Mars stations retrograde, things will slow down substantially until mid-January, because here when Mars is retrograde, there isn't much action, because Mars is the planet of action. So if you still have things that need to be completed during this retrograde, then that's fine, because retrogrades favor any projects that begin before planet stations retrograde. However, anything new, brand new, if you want to renovate your house or sell your house during the retrograde, it might be more difficult. You might have to wait longer. You might have to wait longer to find the right buyer. Or generally, the paperwork with the lawyers, solicitors might also take longer. So you will have to be more patient during this retrograde if you want to start anything off the ground. But generally, this is about, well, this is about generally returning to something that already happened in the past. And if you took too much on your shoulders when Mars was in a direct motion, between August the 20th and October the 30th, then this retrograde might make you realize that perhaps you were over optimistic, and you will have to be very organized in order to meet the deadlines, in order to complete everything within a desired time frame, because you may have had some ideas that you wanted to complete by Christmas, for example, but if you just took too much, more than you could possibly complete, then this retrograde might be quite tricky. But apart from that, Mars will be out of bounds as well between October the 22nd and May the 4th. So here, apart from it being retrograde, will be out of bounds. So I would say is just be careful, because Mars out of bounds acts out of the character, out of the ordinary. So you might really want to do things that are different, eccentric, that you probably wouldn't do in a different circumstances. So here, be cautious when taking risks. Ask a family member whether this is a good idea. Brainstorm with others. Overall here, something to keep in mind, at least at the back of your mind, when you have some crazy idea and you're not sure whether it's the right one or not. Double check with your family member, double check with your friend. See pros and cons. All right, so here we reach the final event for October. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a pleasant month, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you and bye for now.